50 quid, banger. Another one I was unsure of, and I just thought the black bag at first, but when I got closer, oh my word. Now, a couple of weeks ago, you might remember I'd bought a Louis Vuitton messenger bag. Luxury Pickers were kind enough to have a look at that for me, and it was counterfeit. And it's so very, very difficult. I've usually got a really good nose for quality, and I was wrong then. So sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. How often do you see fake Pradas and Mulberries and whatever else at the car booths? You see it all the time, and a lot of the time it's down to the feel of the item that you can tell its quality. As soon as I picked this up, it is the softest leather. It's absolutely beautiful. But things that I liked were, it's got a nice soft leather to it. All of the metal work is embossed with the details. You got Prada Milano on there. This was all very, very straight and neat, as I was expecting. And the little details, like the end of the bag. So I guess it kind of expands a little bit. Everything works as it should do. What else was I looking at? Even the insides of the zippers have got a little stamping on them. I can't read that. It's in Italian. It doesn't say Prada on it, but it's not just plain. And that's what I'm looking for. Details. The studs on the base got Prada on them. The stitching around these little flaps, the stitching around here, the stitching on the handles, the way the handle's constructed, the stitching around the edges, the stitching here. The poppers have got Prada on them. The stitching around here is all very, very square and neat and even. And one of the things, I mean, it's quite a dirty bag. It's clearly used. Got leather lining there. One of the things I did, I turned it inside out. The base on the inside, even this seam, this ribbing, is leather covered, and again you've got the same neat stitching. So all of those indicate to me a lot of time and effort has gone into the manufacture of this bag, and that suggested to me that it was legitimate and worth taking a punt. It's quite an expensive punt. It was £80 when I've chalked up the little bundle. Oh yeah, it's got a little tag on there, and that's got Prada on it. Everything's very neat. It was expensive, but I thought 80 quid. If it was Moody, would I be upset? Yes. Is it going to kill me? No. Now I do appreciate that a lot of people don't go to car boot sales with 80 quid. And I get that, I've been there. When I first started this, I went to my first sort of car boot sale with £50 with me. And I was buying much, much lower value items. As I've built up my knowledge and my skills, some of that money goes into the things I need, some of it goes back into the business. And that money that goes back into the business allows me to take bigger risks, because I'm not reliant on that money. The money that is required, that's taken out. The money that goes to taxes, that's taken out, and the money that's left is there to reinvest. And if I have to take some chances on some things, I will do. I will buy things that are solid, that I know I'm going to get money back on, but I will take educated punts on other items. This felt quality, it looked quality, everything about it screaming quality. So for me, it was worth taking that £80 risk. Again, Luxury Pickers have had a look at it, and they have confirmed this one is legitimate. Depending on which platform I sell it on, the comps vary wildly actually, but somewhere, because of the size of the bag, somewhere between £250 and £400. Madly, if you look at a bag this size on the Prada website right now, minimum of £1,000. So to get that for 80, banger. Right, next. Now, there is still more luxury items to go through. A few, done about bread and butter, but not luxury, good quality. And there's a couple of bangers in there. But before that, for anyone my sort of age, so let's say early 40s, who's been to Ibiza, I really hope you've been here. Now this is an original t-shirt from Space in Ibiza, and I bought a load of stuff off the guy a couple of weeks ago, and I think I bought off him Pasha t-shirts, some sort of Hindu sort of place that he'd been to, and they were just really cool t-shirts. Not for me, this is a small, and I'm getting a bit tubby. This is now what my 12-year-old is wearing. She's very much into the 90s aesthetic. She likes her oversized outfits, so for her to have a t-shirt to a club I've been to, very nice. Paid £3 for that. Bargain, love it. As well as that, I'll stick some pictures up here again, stuff that I forgot from from Saturday's haul, and that was a Nana Cherry sleeveless tee and like a raglan top Kiss long sleeve t-shirt. That was pretty cool. Again, both of those going to my eldest. There is money in them. I'd probably do quite well on Depop, but I've never sold on Depop. I can't be arsed with it, and they were cheap enough that she can have them and enjoy them. If she grows out of them and I want to sell them on, I will do, but for the time being she's got some cool 90s t-shirts. Right, next bits. Okay, cardigan. Had this been in a nicer colour, I would have probably had it for myself. It's just standard cardigan, Paul Smith jeans. I always like Paul Smith. It's good quality. It's and it looks nice. If it lasts, so I'm always happy to get Paul Smith stuff. Paid only £3 from this. Again, different seller. £3. That will be 3 into about. You know, the cardigans don't sell that well at the moment. I'm wondering if that's summer, but they will. At the moment, they're going around 30, 35. They may go up when it gets a little bit closer to autumn, but 3 into 30 is still a banger. So happy with that. Next. Right, another pair of shoes, and these again ballet pumps, nowhere in the same league as the Chanel's. And these are some Ralph Lauren, used a little bit bad condition. Once I've stuffed them, given them a good clean, rehydrated them, they'll reshape themselves, won't be a problem. £2 should get somewhere between 25 and 35 for these. I'll always push for the higher end. I will make them look good enough to get the higher end prices, but yeah, 25 for 35, getting that all day long. Right, next, so we are now back to the lady I bought all of the high end stuff from, and it's a load of, what are we going to call them, gym leggings, yoga leggings. I'll go through them quickly. This logo, that is Sweaty Betty. So Sweaty Betty leggings one. So all of these, she wanted £8 a pair, but as I was buying so many, we agreed on £5 a pair. So these Sweaty Betty ones, these are all either extra small or small. So we've got those ones. We have these wild looking things. This is not Sweaty Betty, this is different company, Louboutin. I think, is that an omega sign? Or Greek symbol, whatever it is. So some of these are full length, some of these are crop leg, but yeah, Louboutin. We get, so every one of these I paid a £5 for, depending on the design and size and length. They will go for somewhere between 25 and possibly up to £35. They're all in excellent condition, or so I thought. I'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, basically £5 each into 25 to £35 each. So you do the math, that's pretty good. Okay, these are more plain ones. Again, Louboutin. these are a bit different. Adidas, Stella McCartney, very nice. These are Lululemon. These ones, again, Sweaty Betty. And these ones are the Super Sculpt. So, Sweaty Betty, again, that sort of reflective logo on the back of the leg. Still going, plain blue ones, Lululemon. These are quite cool. These are like a blue leopard print. These are, again, these are Sweaty Betty. Very small, XX small. And when I said about condition issues, yeah, well, again, these are cool looking ones. These, what are these? These are Sweaty Betty, these are full length ones. Very cool looking. I don't know if it's going to show up on the picture, on the video, but here, there's a period stain. So, I'm not all squeamish about it. It's life, it's biology, deal with it. Is that the sort of thing I probably should have checked for? It's 6:30 in the morning. I've got people climbing all over me trying to get stuff. I'm trying to sort through stuff. You're gonna miss stuff. It's not the end of the world. I'll try some vanish on it. See what I can do. If I can't get it out, I can't get it out. But hopefully I can. But it's not the end of the world. Again, because I've got such a bulk of stuff in one go. If I make a couple of failures, the winners, not the failures out the water. It doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world. So. Yes, be vigilant, but there are just times when you can't tell because of the light, it's dark, you've got sun in your eyes, you've got a scrum around you, you just got to do what you can. And sometimes you make an error, and I made a little bit of an error. It happens. Don't be squeamish about it, lads, it's not a problem. Just deal with it. Last couple of items. Again, I needed a bit of help from Bethany and Austin, the luxury pickers, and I picked up, again, because I had that fail with the fake Louis Vuitton messenger bag. It's just made me paranoid again that everything is fake, and I've got these massive Louis Vuitton scarves here, so the LV logo hopefully, and then we've got the actual label here. Whoops, let's get it the right way up would help. Hopefully you can see that. And again, this is white, it's off-white, it's cream. This could have stains all over it. I still haven't actually had a proper check over it. But when you've got all the people around you, you're in a scrum, you can't always look. And what was weird is the fact that I've got a black one and a white one. The black one's got a slightly different label. But again, this is authentic. It's been, that's right, try and focus, verified by the luxury pickers. It's absolutely beautiful. So this is a silk wool mix. The other one is also it's a silk, viscose, wool and polyester mixed. What was weird was I found this, you can feel the difference actually. I found this one first, and oh my God, again, under my arm while I'm digging through. And I could see people throwing through other clothes and shoes, and this got pushed aside by someone digging through the pile. And I don't know how that got missed, but it got missed in front of me and it went into my arms, and I got that now. She wanted 20 each. And we agreed on 35 for the pair. Brand new, £400 each. So, second hand, I should be able to achieve somewhere between 150 and 200 depending on condition, photography and how long I'm willing to wait. So, we all know I'm a patient man, but we'll get somewhere between 150 and 200 each for those bangers. what's funny is, those aren't even my favourite scarves I picked up. I got this mental looking scarf, and again, it's Givenchy. This is absolutely mental. Hold on, let's figure this out. Is it that way? This way. Hopefully you can see that, but it's just sort of, it's a big star, but also in the corners you can see there's these panthers. So hold it that way. Got these panthers. So I believe if you've got this right, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I believe basically when it's up and around you, however you want to do it, got a bloody panther around your neck. Okay, I'm obviously not doing this justice, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but yeah, I'm sure there's a way of getting this done nicely, and you'll end up with a, it's not a tiger in your pocket, but it's a panther around your neck. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So somehow that goes up, right, and that goes there, that goes there, and you got your, got your panther giving it all that. There we go. That looks rubbish because I don't know what I'm doing. But paid, what did she want for that one? Bought this and the other Givenchy pouch together. I paid for them at the same time. And I'm gonna have to check my book because I can't remember.
Tomorrow.
Right, okay. 45, so I paid 30 for the pouch and I paid 15 for that scarf. So yeah, absolute bargain. I did try and bargain her down, and she was having none of it. She was standing firm, and that's absolutely fine. That's her stuff. She can do what she wants. I know I was getting good prices, but if you don't ask, you don't get. She was fine on giving me some money off the sweaty betties, not so much on some of the higher stuff, but I was spending a lot with her. I think the first round I'd gone up and bought £125 worth of stuff. She'd only gave me a fiver off. Put that in my bag, went back for a second round, gave me a little bit off, and then certain things she was and certain things she wasn't. Absolutely her prerogative, it's her stuff, she can do what she wants. Last item. Very tempted to keep this bit. Shouldn't, but I'm very tempted. Now I've got a couple of nice wallets. I've got a nice Mulberry and I've got a nice Ralph Lauren. Okay, it's Lauren, not Lauren. Ralph Lauren, like the girl's name. Anyway, I digress. Louboutin. This is a mental piece, but I love it because it's weird. So I've got proper wallets, so I like to have the bits where the notes go, and I've got separate bits with the coins, but these days I'm using less cash, so do I need a coin per part of the wallet anymore? Do I just need a card wallet? This is a card wallet, and it's weird, and it's cool, and I like it. So you've got your traditional is not the word I'm looking for. Classic Louboutin spikes. He's known for his red soles and his spikes. Look at these. So these, it's a combination of gold and tortoiseshell spikes on a card wallet, and then you've got your classic Louboutin red inner. It's absolutely beautiful leather, really, it's a bit overexposed here, sorry, I'm just trying to get it right. Beautiful stitching, nice burnished edges, absolutely perfect. And there are a few little marks on it, which I've cleaned up, it looks great. And yeah, a little bit overexposed here, but I'm outside, so yeah, I really like that. It's weird, and I like weird. So yeah, I think this is one of the last items I picked up. And again, so I'd been to the store, bought stuff, gone away, met up with James. He'd helped me, I can't remember the exact order of whatever everything happened, but at some point I took James to the store because I was running low on cash, and James lent me some money for the amp. He lent me 40 quid. Good lad, thank you. But that must have been right at the end of lending me the 40 quid for the amp, but I must have taken him to this store first. As we were digging through, I was passing things to him that I thought were well worth him picking up, and I saw this was sitting there, and we must have been after 9 o'clock now. Christian Louboutin card wallet sitting at a car boot sale. I asked how much it was. She wanted 20. I said, would you take 18? She said yes. Even at 20, that's an absolute bargain. These are 225, 250 new. People assume everything at a car boot sale is fake. Most of the time, their assumptions are correct. However, they are not always correct. And if you can learn to spot quality, you have a much greater chance of picking up genuine items and being able to get rid of the dross. I used to just completely ignore anything that was Prada, Louis Vuitton. I just ignore it. I'd walk past it because, or Mulberry, oh, that's definitely fake. I don't walk past it anymore. I check, and I can very, very quickly usually dismiss stuff that's fake. I have still made mistakes, and I will probably still continue to make mistakes. However, I will make fewer mistakes than most. Number one, I'm checking the item and having a look rather than just dismissing it on site. If you just dismiss it on site, you will never pick up a genuine luxury item like that because you've just assumed it's fake. Once you picked it up, hopefully you'll be able to, even if you're not massively familiar, you'll be able to tell whether something's well made or not. If you don't, as I said, go to a quality shop, go familiarise yourself with the quality, familiarise yourself with how something's stitched when it's a 500 or £1,000 item. Learn these things. You will make mistakes, and if you're concerned, and what I don't want you to do is go out there and, you know, bet the house on it. If you've only taken £100 to a car boot sale and someone's selling you a bag and it's 80 quid, that's a big risk. That's nearly all your money. I'd taken £315 with me, so 80 quid on the Prada bag was a decent chunk of what I brought there. Would I have been upset if it was moody? Yes, I would, but it's not going to kill me. So because I'm prepared to make mistakes and learn from them, I will take the chances. But I've done the research, I've been to the shop, when I get assistance from Austin and Bethany, I learn from that. I don't want to keep asking them the same questions. Every time I ask them something, I learn from it to make sure that I can grow and become a better reseller and better buyer of this sort of stuff. So number one, if you want to become, well, basically, yeah, so that was 18 quid. I've gone off track here. 18 quid, should be able to get somewhere between 100, 130 pounds. Very, very happy with that. Tempted to keep it. Do I need it? Not really, so let's sell that, let's get rid. But going back to my monologue of waffle, if you want to make, yeah, do what you want to do however you want to do it. But for me, I want to increase the number of bangers I buy. This year was all about the bangers. I keep saying bangers. It was all about the bangers. I've got the bread and butter stuff. I don't need to worry about that. So why would I keep picking up items that make me 10, 15, 20 quid? It's just not worth my time when I've got garages full of it. I want to be picking up the stuff that makes me 50, 60, 80, 100, 200, 400, 600 pounds. The only way I'm going to do that is by making sure I'm familiar with the items that make that sort of money so that I can take the opportunities when they arise. Not everyone's going to be able to do that. Not everyone's got similar budgets or circumstances. I'm a part-timer. I've got a day job. My day job covers the bills. If I don't make any money one week from reselling, it's not going to kill me. It's not the end of the world. Whereas a full-timer, you've got to put food on the table, you've got to keep a roof over your head. So everyone's got different circumstances. You might be in a position where we're coming up for a bit, it feels like we are going into a recession. Do you need to make a bit of extra money? If you've got a day job or you're a part-time worker and you want to make a bit of extra money, invest a little bit. I'm not saying go out and spend, what did I spend? So I had 314 and had to borrow 40 quid off of James. I'm not saying go out and spend that sort of money all the time, but You can build it. You go out, go and spend £5 on a pair of trainers, sell them for 20. After your fees, all of a sudden you've got 10, 15 quid left. 10 or 15 quid. Don't use that. Don't go to the pub with it. Use that 10 or 15 pound to buy another 2 or 3 pairs of shoes. Flip that. Compound the growth. Buy stuff, flip it, try not to use it if you can possibly help it, and reinvest that money and grow it, because rather than you just doubling your money, it will exponentially grow. And then once you've done that a couple of times, you'll then start to be able to take some money back out of the business, but you've already built up this war chest of cash and stock that you are able to take a little bit. And that's what I've done. My first year of reselling, I didn't make much money because everything was going back in to build up that war chest of stock and cash. And that's what I've got now. I could now go, realistically, 2 years without buying a damn thing, and I would still have a comfortable second income because I've built up that war chest. But I love it, so I'm going to keep doing it, and I can't. FOMO is real. Fear of missing out. On a Sunday, if it's a sunny Sunday morning, if I'm not at that car boot sale, in my head, this is what I've missed. This isn't every weekend. This is actually, for me, it's not. It's not a regular thing, but it's becoming more regular, and I believe that's because I've sharpened my skills and I'm looking for it. This stuff could have been at the car boots for the last 3 years, and I've not seen it because I didn't know about it. And as I've educated myself and learnt more, I've put more effort into looking for these specific things, so I see them. I don't know if the stars are aligning or any of that jazz, but the reality is, because I'm looking for it, I'm finding it. Because I'm educating myself on it, I'm understanding what to look for. I appreciate this sort of stuff isn't going to be on everyone's doorstep. I go to couple of car boot sales, and they are in London commuter towns, places where people have got relatively good incomes. People who are basically, if you're commuting into London, you've probably got a reasonable income if you're going to be doing that for a job, because who wants to spend 3 or 4 grand a year just commuting to work? So you would have hoped someone's got a reasonable income, and those people seem to get rid of their stuff at car boot sales and charity shops in these commuter towns. So that is what I do. I focus on local commuter towns, and that means that I am able to get a better quality item, and I appreciate that's not going to happen for everyone, but I'm just using what I've got and using my noddle. So I have not banged on a bit. So couple of notes: bring more money to the car boot sale than you think you need. It is better to have cash and not need it than to need cash and not have it. I was very fortunate that my car boot mate is my mate, James Webster. You want to go and check out his channel, go and have a look at, he's one of the Waffle Boys, but go and have a look at his channel, James Collects. He's very much into his retro video games and retro toys and all that sort of stuff. Go and check him out. Collectibles, Pokemon, all that sort of stuff. He does very well. He sells an awful lot more than I do. So yeah, go and check him out. You might learn something. He's got a lot more followers than me, so you might already be following him, but go and check him out. He's a good lad. Luxury pickers, go and watch their channel, and when you're watching their stuff, don't just watch it for entertainment. They are entertaining. I love it. But as well as entertaining, they're educational. Every time they mention a brand you do not know, write it down. If you then build up a little, whether it's on a notebook or on your phone, write that list down, build up your knowledge, and then before going out to a car boot or a charity shop, skim read through it. All of a sudden you might be in a charity shop and you pick up a pair of Axel Arigato shoes. You may never have heard of them before, but because you've seen one of their videos and you think, oh, I remember that Axel Arigato, right, I'm going to get those. All of a sudden you've got a pair of £200 trainers. So watch, learn, educate yourself. So bring enough money, educate yourself, and then as well as learning, go into the shops and look at the quality items, familiarise yourself with quality. If you can familiarise yourself with quality, you've got a better chance of being able to differentiate between the moody and legitimate when you're out in the field. We all make mistakes. Also balance up the fact that depending on how much it costs, you've got to work out, is that worth a risk for you or not? For me, I've now built up enough of a war chest that if I make a mistake, not the end of the world. Even if it was an £80 mistake, it's not the end of the world. I'd be pissed off, but it's not going to finish me. If that's your rent money or your food money for the week, of course don't do it. But that's why I'm saying reinvest your money, take out as little of the business as you possibly can so that you can then build up and compound that growth, make more money, and then with that money, that gives you buffer and more wiggle room for making mistakes. I have gone on an awful lot. So go and check out Luxury Pickers, write stuff down, go and check out their new podcast as well. Hello, I'm Future Lee. Future Lee is clever. In the past, Lee, he's an idiot because he forgot to work out the comps as a whole. So, Future Lee, being clever, he's looking at his notebook. Future Lee says, so basically I spent about 340 odd quid, give or take, at the lower end of the comp. So as I said, certain things would sell between X and Y. At the lower end, if they sell like that, that's going to be about 2,430 odd pounds. If it goes for the upper end, that's about 3,165-ish. The reality is it's not going to go at the lower end, it's not going to go at the upper end, it'll go somewhere in between. So let's split the difference, say it's around £2,750 total sales. Knock off my buy cost of 340, and that leaves me with about £2,400 of pre-tax profits. That's good for a morning's work in anyone's books. It's not a morning's work. Obviously I've got a crap ton of cleaning, refurbishing, etc. to photographing, listing to do, but for a morning's sourcing, that's pretty damn good. So yeah, Future Lee's going to go now, and you can get back to Lee in the past. I've got a crap ton of listing to do, and I've got to finish building this thing before it gets cold. So I'm going to crack on. I'll see you next time. Hopefully you've learned something. Hopefully this has been interesting. If you haven't subscribed to me, please do. It will really help, and a thumbs up would be great as well. In the comments, whack in whatever your best pickup has been for the whole of time. Whatever your best pickup would be, I'd like to know what you paid, what you got for it, just out of interest. So I shall see you next time. Take care.